Naomi Judd was more than just a country music star. She was a symbol of strength, love, and pain. Her voice and songs touched millions, but behind the fame was a woman who fought hard battles. And standing beside her through it all was her husband, Larry Strickland. For years, he stayed silent about Naomi's final days. But when he finally opened up, people saw a different side of their story. A love story that was full of both happiness and heartbreak. A relationship that stood the test of time, even with all the ups and downs that came with it. Naomi's passing shocked many, but her life, and Larry's quiet support, left a lasting mark. Their story began long before the Judds became famous. In the late 1970s, Naomi was just another single mother trying to get by. She worked as a nurse in Nashville, doing everything she could to raise her two daughters, Wynonna and Ashley. Naomi had dreams, but they seemed so far away. Then came Larry Strickland. A gospel singer with deep Southern roots, Larry had already made a name for himself as a member of Elvis Presley's backup group. He wasn't flashy or loud. He was calm, steady, and kind. When Naomi met him, she saw someone who brought her peace. Not many people could handle her fiery energy, but Larry did it with grace. They didn't rush into things. Their relationship grew slowly, built on long talks and mutual respect. Naomi had lived through pain, trauma, and disappointment, so she didn't fall for people easily. But Larry was different. He didn't try to outshine her. He just stood by her, offering a sense of calm in the chaos. In 1989, they got married. It was right at the height of Naomi's music career with her daughter Wynonna. The Judds were winning awards, topping charts, and changing the country music scene. But even with all that fame, Naomi just wanted someone she could come home to. Larry gave her that stability. He didn't care about the spotlight. He just wanted to be her partner. But their relationship wasn't easy. In the early 1990s, Naomi was diagnosed with hepatitis C. She had to step away from the stage, unsure if she'd ever return. This could have broken anyone. But Larry didn't leave her side. He became her full-time caregiver. He helped her fight through the illness, and Naomi later credited him for helping her reach remission. During this time, they chose a quieter life. No flashy Hollywood events or big parties. They liked gardening, traveling, and spending time together. Naomi would often call Larry a true Southern gentleman. He wasn't just her husband, he was her safe place. Naomi's mental health struggles were no secret. She was brave enough to talk about her depression and suicidal thoughts. In her memoir, River of Time, she wrote openly about the pain she carried inside. Through all of it, Larry remained her rock. Even when things were dark and confusing, he was always there, quietly holding everything together. When Naomi was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, it should have been a moment of joy. But heartbreak came just a day before, when she passed away. Larry stood on that stage, accepting the honor for her, holding back tears while honoring the woman he loved. Their marriage wasn't just filled with soft moments and sweet memories. It had sharp edges, too. Naomi was passionate and emotional, and sometimes that passion exploded in painful ways. In her 1993 memoir, she talked about how their love was strong, but also full of tension. Larry's music career kept him on the road, and Naomi sometimes felt lonely. One of the most shocking stories came out in a Lifetime docuseries, where Larry admitted that Naomi once fired a gun at him after learning about his infidelity. That incident, dramatized in a TV movie, showed just how stormy things could get. There was even a phone call from another woman who claimed to be in love with Larry. Naomi was furious and threw his things out of the house. Most couples would have walked away after something like that. But they didn't. They fought through it. They had hard conversations, painful nights, and broken trust. But they also had forgiveness. Larry later said those moments didn't define their relationship. Instead, they were part of a bigger picture, a love story that was never perfect, but always real. As the years went by, Larry became more than just a husband. He became Naomi's lifeline. When her mental health worsened, he took care of her around the clock. For 13 years, he was always by her side. He rarely left the house without telling her where he was going. He helped her with basic things, making sure she ate, took her medicine, exercised, and went to therapy. But even with all that support, Naomi's emotional pain didn't go away. Looking back, Larry said he wished he had offered more emotional comfort instead of just being practical. He was doing his best, but sometimes just being there isn't enough when someone is struggling so deeply. When Naomi passed, Larry leaned on the two daughters she left behind. Wynonna and Ashley were heartbroken, but they stood with Larry in their grief. Losing someone that important changes everything, but it also brings people closer. As a family, they found strength in each other. And in that pain, Larry began to open up more about Naomi's life. He talked about their love, their fights, and her private battles that the world didn't always see. Naomi's story didn't begin with fame. She was born Diana Ellen Judd in a small town in Kentucky in 1946. Life was hard from the start. Her family didn't have much. Her dad ran a gas station and her mom worked as a cook. When Naomi was just 18, she lost her younger brother to leukemia. That pain stayed with her for the rest of her life. She became a mom at 17, raising Wynonna on her own after the father left. She worked nonstop to support her children, but she never gave up on her dreams. She moved to California, hoping for a better life. Even while working long shifts, she kept her passion for music alive. As Wynonna grew, she showed talent too. Naomi saw that they could do something special together. After giving birth to Ashley and ending her marriage to Michael Simonella, Naomi went back to school and became a nurse. But music kept calling. She eventually changed her name to Naomi, inspired by a biblical figure who, like her, had to raise children alone while dealing with hardship. She and Wynonna started singing together. Their voices blended in a way that was pure magic. They sang in small places, but their sound caught people's attention. A demo tape got into the hands of someone at RCA Records, and everything changed. The Judds became stars almost overnight. In the 1980s, they ruled the country music charts. They had 15 #1 hits and stayed on top at award shows for 8 years straight. Naomi even won a Grammy for writing Love Can Build a Bridge, a song that perfectly captured who she was. But the success didn't last forever. In 1991, Naomi's diagnosis of hepatitis C forced them to stop performing. Their final concert was a huge event, breaking records on cable pay-per-view. Naomi then used her voice to raise awareness about hepatitis C. She created a fund and spoke out about the illness, helping others while battling her own health issues. In 1993, she was honored with a major award for her contributions. Even though the Judds officially ended, Naomi and Wynonna reunited from time to time, sharing the stage and their bond with fans once again. Still, even as her health improved, Naomi's mental struggles continued. Depression doesn't care about fame. In her final months, things got harder. Her home life became chaotic. She was overwhelmed, tired, and emotionally drained. Larry did everything he could, but sometimes, love isn't enough to stop the pain someone feels inside. After her death, Larry shared his regrets. He wished he had sat down with her more, really listened, and just held her hand through the hardest moments. Naomi's passing hit the family hard, but it also brought a kind of healing. Larry, Wynonna, and Ashley became closer. They cried, remembered, and honored her together. Larry spoke from the heart, reminding people that Naomi wasn't just a star. She was a human being with real struggles. Through it all, he showed how much he truly loved her. Naomi Judd left behind more than just music. She left behind a message that life can be messy, painful, and unfair, but it can also be beautiful. That even with all the fame in the world, What matters most are the people who love you when the lights go out. Her story reminds us to check on the ones who seem strong, to be patient with those who are hurting, and to never forget that behind every smile, there might be a battle no one sees. Larry Strickland didn't need to be loud or flashy. His love spoke through actions, through quiet moments, through standing by someone in their darkest hours. Naomi's story wouldn't be complete without him. And now, because he chose to share the truth, fans everywhere can see her not just as a country legend, but as a woman who loved deeply, hurt quietly, and gave everything she had, until the very end. If you found Naomi Judd's story as touching as we did, don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. What part of her journey moved you the most? Let us know, and we'll see you next time with another powerful story that deserves to be heard.